pause for a moment. Okay, hi everyone. Can I get a big hi back from y'all? Hi y'all. Thank you. I think y'all can be a little louder than that. It's only night 2. Okay, that's more like it. That's what I was expecting. We are about to start night 2 of our skit, okay? So, am I good to, Miss Melody, are we good to shut the lights down? Okay, so we're gonna turn the lights down for a minute, and I want y'all to cover your eyes, and we're gonna count to 10, okay? Put your hands over your eyes, everyone. Hands over your eyes. Not yet. We're doing skit first. Skit. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Andy, time for school.
Coming, Mom.
All right, Andy's left for school.
Hey, what are you doing here? I decided that I needed to do a little research for future toys to Andy's room. Molly's toys made me fascinated by all the stuff to do in here.
That's a great book, isn't it?
We don't want Molly's toys trespassing on our territory.
That's right. They do not belong in here. Sarge?
Troops, establish a secure perimeter around. Troops, establish a secure barrier around the perimeter and seal all doors and windows for future invasions.
Wow, forget it. This room isn't that interesting.
Don't mind them, TGB. We all have our place in this world, and any outside forces upset the balance. Speaking of, what is the most recent unwelcome intrusion?
Hey, that's right. No, that's not right. What I mean is, where's Jessie?
Hey, she's been marked.
Yippee! You guys were right. I just had to be patient. Look, I belong. Congratulations, Jessie. You're really one of us now.
Well, pull my string. Welcome to the family, Jess. There's a snake in my food.
He doesn't mean literally. You just pulled his string.
Well, he told me to.
It's just an expression. See, she'll never be one of us.
It's okay, Jess. You'll get it. We all have our little idiosyncrasies.
Request permission to determine job placement.
Permission granted. Etch, Jessie needs a job. What's available?
Searching. Sheriff in charge of everything.
Nope. That job's already taken. By me.
Searching. Intergalactic Spain Ranger.
That job's taken too. Try again.
Searching. Security guard.
I believe those duties fall under my purview.
Searching. Reptile.
What'd he say?
Searching. Spud.
Duh.
Searching. Tour guide.
Ooh, that's me.
Come on, Edge. There must be something for Jessie to do. Try again.
Searching. Damsel in distress.
Oh, hang on a minute. That job is taken by me. No way. That usurper is not taking my job.
Calm down, though. Maybe you could both be damsels in distress.
Both? Have you got sawdust in your brain? There's no room in this world for 2 damsels in distress.
Sure there's enough room for 2. I mean, look around. There's plenty of heroes who need someone to save.
No way, I'm no hero. That's scary.
He's right. That's a dangerous job. Somebody could lose an eye.
Count me out. My hero days ended when I sprung my spring.
Guess that just leaves us.
Affirmative, just a few good men.
That's right. We really need 2 damsels in distress. Otherwise, we heroes would have to share the saving duties. This way, there's plenty of saving to go around.
I will not share my jobs with her.
Etch out.
Now, Bo, let's talk about this reasonably.
I don't see anyone else willing to share their job with her.
Kind of hard for her to be a reptile.
Or Spud.
Or a... Never mind.
Why should I have to do what no one else is going to do?
It isn't that we aren't willing. It's just that we've already established that there are several of us heroes.
But that means you have 2 jobs. How is that fair?
It isn't about being fair. It's just that we all have a specific purpose. Each of us has a special and unique talent.
Some of us are just extra special with extra talent.
You're not helping, Buzz.
So what I hear you saying is, I'm nothing special and anyone can do my job?
No. You're missing the point. You see, Bo, it takes all of us doing our job to be a family. We're a team. We are all necessary and important.
Right, how can any play Space Raiders without them?
Or Jurassic Park without me.
Or hot potato without me.
What do you say, Bo? Without you, we heroes wouldn't have anyone to save. And then where would we be?
Molly's room.
Negative, enemy territory.
Come on, Bo. We're all friends here. When we're together, we're better together than as individuals.
Well, I suppose I could be persuaded to take a day off every now and again. Sometimes the ropes I'm tied with crush my skirt, and those railroad ties hurt my back.
That's the spirit.
And it might be nice to have a chance to look for those lost sheep. I never have time to do those with all those damsel in distress duties.
I miss those sheep.
And my throat won't hurt from yelling help all the time. I can do my yodeling again.
We don't have to go that far.
Yeah, this could work.
All right, now we're working together. When we're together,
We're not alone.
I love a happy ending.
right. Now come on, everyone. Hands in. And all together on the count of 3, we'll say friends, since that's what we are.
Hang on, hold your horses.
Oh my, we're forgetting our manners. Welcome to the family, Jesse.
Thanks, Bo, but there's really not a problem here.
No, I'm happy to let you be a damsel in distress with me.
But you see, Bo, that's not necessary because I would never be a damsel in distress. I'm a hero.
That's great, Jesse. Wait, what?
I'll be right alongside you when he's saving poor little Bo Peep.
Poor little Bo Peep.
Come on, Jess. Let's get you out of here. Let's ride off from the sunset while she calms down.
I'll get you, my pretty.
Oh, where am I at lunchtime? Okay, everyone. What did we think about today's skit? Okay, it is time for silly songs, which means you know my number 1 rule. Stand up, on your feet. This one's called Make a Melody in My Heart. This is a repeat after me song. Say as I say, do as I do. Thumbs up. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart to the King of Kings. Thumbs up. Elbows back. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart to the King of Kings. Thumbs up. Elbows back. Shoulders up. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart to the King of Kings. Thumbs up. Elbows back. Shoulders up. Knees bent. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart to the King of Kings. Thumbs up. Elbows back. Shoulders up. Knees bent. Feet apart. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart to the King of Kings. Thumbs up. Elbows back. Shoulders up. Knees bent. Feet apart. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart to the King of Kings. Thumbs up. Elbows back. Shoulders up. Knees bent. Feet apart. Knees together. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart to the King of Kings. Thumbs up. Elbows back. Shoulders up. Knees bent. Feet apart. Knees together. Head back. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart. Make a melody in my heart to the King of Kings. Thumbs up. Elbows back. Shoulders up. Knees bent. Feet apart. Knees together. Head back. Bum out. make a melody in my heart, make a melody in my heart, make a melody in my heart. To the King of Kings, thumbs up, elbows back, shoulders up, knees bent, feet apart, knees together, head back, bum out, ha ha, ha 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 ha. To the King of Kings, thumbs up, elbows back, shoulders up, knees bent, feet apart, knees together, head back, bum out, ha ha, ha ha, ha 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 ha. To the King of Kings. Give yourself a round of applause on that one.
So today's theme is enjoy and belonging. Our next song we're going to sing is about spelling out the word joy and including Jesus, others, and you.
A few of y'all sat back down. Do I have to remind y'all of my rule again? Yeah, Miss Phyllis didn't sit back down. Do I have to remind y'all of my rule? Thank you, Miss Phyllis. You have to stay on your feet for this part. Everyone, back up. Okay, ready? So this is the song where we split down the middle. And we're gonna have one side over here, and y'all are gonna be singing joy, 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 joy. And this side, y'all are gonna be doing J is for Jesus, O is for others, and Y is for you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Okay, and this is a competition for who can be the loudest, okay? So you better be loud if you want your side to win. We're all gonna start with the joy, and I'll tell y'all when you split off, okay? Everyone ready? Joy, 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 joy. J is for Jesus. O is for others. Joy, 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 joy. J is for Jesus. O is for others. And Y is for you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Oh, y'all gonna look at me when we finish. Okay, we're gonna try this again, but this time, y'all are gonna be doing J is for Jesus, that whole part, and y'all are gonna be singing joy, okay? Ready to do it again? Joy, 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 joy. J is for Jesus. O is for other. Joy, 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 joy. J is for Jesus. O is for others. Joy, 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 joy. Ah, we're so close. I don't know which side was louder. Do we think this side was louder? Or do we think this side was louder? I don't know. Y'all all sounded pretty loud to me, so I don't know who to give it to. Do we want to do it one more time just to see who's loudest? Okay, we're going to do a vote. If you want to do joy again, raise your hand. Okay, if you don't want to do joy again, raise your hand. Okay, I think we have a winner. I don't think we're gonna do it again. Oh, okay. Y'all should know the hippopotamus song. Who knows the hippopotamus song in here? I've got some good hands over here and a few good hands over here. Okay, well, we're gonna do it. Ready? Get down, ready? In In the beginning, God made the seas and the forest filled with trees, mountain tops up so high. At the top, he placed the sky. Fingerprints are everywhere, just to show how much he cares. In the middle, he had some fun. Made a hippo that weighs a ton. Hip, hip, hippopotamus. Hip, hip, hooray, God made all of us. Hip, hip, hippopotamus. Hip, hip, hooray, God made all of us. I was waiting for that. We're going to do it faster. Who thinks they can do it faster? Ready? In the beginning, God made the seas and the forest filled with trees, mountain tops up so high. At the top, he placed the sky. Fingerprints are everywhere, just to show how much he cares. In the middle, he had some fun. Made a hippo that weighs a ton. Hip, hip, hippopotamus. Hip, hip, hooray, God made all of us. Hip, hip, hippopotamus. Hip, hip, hooray, God made all of us. Faster? Okay. Who thinks they can do it faster? Good hands over here, good hands here, ready? Okay. In the beginning, God made the seas and the forest filled with trees, mountain tops up so high. At the top, he placed the sky, fingerprints are everywhere. Just so how much he goes, and literally had some fun. Made a hippo that weighs a ton. Hip, hip, hippopotamus. Hip, hip, hooray, God made all of us. Hip, hip, hippopotamus. Hip, hip, hooray, God made all of us. Woo! I don't think I can go faster. Or we could go super slow. Let's go super slow, because I can't take any more. Ready? In the beginning, God made the seas and the forest filled with trees, mountain tops up so high. At the top, he placed the sky. Fingerprints are everywhere, just to show how much he cares. In the middle, he had some fun. Made a hippo that weighs a ton. Hip, hip, hippopotamus. Hip, hip, hooray, God made all of us. Hip, hip, hippopotamus. Hip, hip, hooray, God made all of us. Oh, y'all did really good, good. We can do Big Blue Dragon quickly. Can you do Big Blue Dragon? Okay. I'm gonna do one of my favorite. Do y'all remember Big Blue Dragon from yesterday when we got really loud? Ready? Why are y'all sitting down again? What happened with my rule? I had some girls who listened back here. My teens listened over here. Back on your feet. Come on. Back on your feet. Back on your feet. You gotta stand up. Stand up. Okay, is everyone standing now? Are we ready? So this is a repeat after me song. Say as I say and do as I do. You can't ride my big blue dragon. The wings don't flap and the tail ain't wagging. Pa, pa, pa. Pa, pa, pa. Second verse, same as the first. A little bit louder, a little bit worse. You can't ride my big blue dragon. The wings don't flap and the tail ain't wagging. Pa, pa, pa. Pa, pa, pa. Third verse, same as the first. A little bit louder, a little bit worse. You can't ride my big blue dragon. The wings don't flap and the tail ain't wagging. Pa, pa, pa. Pa, pa, pa. Fourth verse, same as the first. A little bit quieter and a whole lot better. You, sir, cannot ride my big blue dragon. The wings, they just don't flap, and the tail, it just ain't wagging. Pa, pa, pa. Pa, pa, pa. I'm tired. 6:18. one more song? Which one should we do? Shake it, bee? Which one? Oh, Peace Like a River. Okay. Y'all are a few of y'all are sitting back down again. I will tell you when it is time to sit down, and right now is not time to sit back down. I need everyone back on their feet. That includes you, Isaac. On your feet. Okay. This is our last song before we head off. We're doing Peace Like a River. Do y'all remember it from yesterday? Okay. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like the ocean, I've got love like the ocean, I've got love like the ocean in my soul. I've got peace like the river, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got love like the ocean in my soul. That was good. Okay. Again? I've got time, we're doing it again. Ready? I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like the ocean, I've got love like the ocean, I've got love like the ocean in my soul. Whew. I've got peace like a river, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got love like the ocean in my soul. Okay, now y'all can sit down. And I'm gonna need all of our teen helpers to go with your group, please. Okay.
If you don't sing, I've got the joy, 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 joy.
We'll do it tonight. We'll do it tonight, okay?
If you don't do it, I'm gonna fight you, because that's like my favorite, and it's Joy Story.
I'll do it. I got you.
Okay. Because I really just want to say, and if the devil doesn't like it, he can sit on a tap.
Okay. Okay, everyone. Are we ready to head off to class? Yes? Okay. We are going to start with our oldest. Where's Daniel? Different Daniel. Older Daniel. Miss Phyllis, you got them. I believe in you. Here he comes. Thank you, Daniel, for being so prompt. Thank you, Daniel. Okay. My 4th and 5th graders, my orange group, you are heading to games in the fellowship center. Go on, orange group. Not you, Emmett. Emmett, that's not you. Emmett, that's not you.
It is now.
Okay. My blue group. Can you wave to me, blue group? Blue group, you are going to Snacks and Science. Follow Miss Becca, please. Oh, are you taking this mic after me? You taking this mic after me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, my lovely yellow group. Hi, yellow group. How are you? Okay, y'all are heading to crafts. Go make something pretty. Go have fun. Have fun. Smile. Be happy. It's a beautiful day the Lord has made. And my red group. Can I get some excitement from my red group? Yeah, red group. Okay, y'all do not seem that excited. Can we try that again? Yeah, red group. Woo! Okay, perfect. Shay got excited. Okay, we're ready. And my lovely red group, y'all are heading to Bible class. Go have fun. Learn about Jesus. Maybe you'll have something to tell me afterwards.
Ask you a question. The answer is always Jesus.
Jesus. Okay, you can take this mic from me now.
Yep. Got you.
I adjusted it for my little head.
I have a slightly bigger head. I've got peace like the river. about that time. Hey, can you mic me up? Thank you. Yeah, sitting still, it's always not my strong suit. All right, so welcome back to day 2 of VBS adult classes. We will not be singing silly songs today. Sorry. Leading songs is not my forte. But we'll be studying some Bible stuff. All right, so today, yesterday, just a little recap, we talked about the difference between joy and happiness. How do we find joy and some other fruit of the Spirit? And we kind of worked through and dialogued some of that, and I shared with you some experiences. Today, I'm going to move into communication, unity, and belonging. And somebody says, well, what do those have to do with each other? A lot of times, what would you say that one of the top 5, I'll just say one of the top 5, what do you think one of the top 5 reasons for failed relationships? And I'm not just going to say marriage, I'm going to say failed relationships. Whether they're marriages, whether they're friendships, what do you think, top 5? Lack of, and it doesn't have to be a lack of, it could also be the wrong communication, right? Or miscommunication. The big thing now, popular in culture, is misinformation, right? They just didn't understand me the right way. So it is a huge problem in relationships. As a matter of fact, most relationships fail because of communication or a lack thereof or poor communication. I've never heard anybody says, man, we communicate so well, but our relationship just didn't work out. And I'm speaking from experience. For those that don't know, I come out of a failed marriage, so I'm divorced and remarried. And at first, it's easy to look at my previous relationship and say, well, no, she had an affair, so it's not my fault. And I did at first, I went straight to the Bible and said, look, I'm justified in getting a divorce because she had an affair. Here it is right here. God said so. But as I grew past that, I said, it really does take 2 people to make a relationship work and 2 people to break a relationship, okay? It really does. And if I'm honest with myself, which I was not, then one of the things that I could say is that, and I did say, is, I had a part to play in that divorce, in that failing of that marriage. Before the affair and before all that, in the initial breaking of that relationship, I had a part to play. And as I went back and reevaluated that, before I decided to go back out into the world, one of the things that I came to was the fact that I did not communicate at all, or well. I didn't say at all, but I didn't communicate well. And so after I became a Christian, I actually have, you'll see it says, Tony's top 7 Bible verses in communication. There are plenty, and there is more than 7. But these are the 7 that I picked out that meant a lot to me, and we'll kind of discuss some of them and where they're at. So the first one that I want to cover is Psalm 19:14. It says, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my rock and redeemer. Okay? And that's Psalm 19:14. We're going to be jumping a little bit. So when I read that verse, the first thing that comes to my mind is, it's not what comes out of my mouth should process through my heart first. I should not just think and say. So one of the things we make fun of Lainey for, my number 3 daughter, is Lainey has no filter. Information hits that kid's head and comes right out of her mouth. And sometimes I'm always like, hey, you can't do that or say that. Just a primary example, so at my previous church, we had this couple from India, wonderful couple. They came to our church and they had this beautiful little baby, maybe just 6 or 7 days old, and his ears were large for his head, okay? And no big deal, still a very cute little baby. So Lainey loves babies. So I said, Lainey, she was probably 11 or 12. I said, come check out this baby. So she walks up and she kind of looks and she goes, oh, he's so cute, he looks like a baby monkey. And I was like, huh. So I threw a kick at her leg to push her away, and she's like, ow, what? I'm like, go away. So later on, I pulled her aside and I said, Lainey, listen, you can't say things like that. And she's like, why? Baby monkeys are cute. And I'm like, yes, but nobody wants their child to look like a baby monkey. So as we receive, as our eyes pick up information, what should happen, and what I'm working on as a Christian, is processing that information, not just through my brain, but through my heart. Is what I'm about to utter valuable to God? Now, you may say, yep, I'm pretty good at this, Tony. But where I see a big problem with Christians and non-Christians is the realm of social media, okay? We are different people online than we are face-to-face. I have met several people that I know for a fact would never utter the stuff they put online face-to-face. But I call them keyboard warriors. But when they hit the internet, they can say whatever they want. And as a Christian, and I'm guilty of this, okay? So like I'm going to tell you that there are times that if I see something stupid or something, I post and I'm like, and then I'm always trying to catch myself like, okay, is what I'm about to put out there, whether it's in type or through my mouth, is it going to glorify God? Because it says, let the words of my mouth and the meditation in my heart be acceptable in your sight. So those things go together. So am I taking what I'm about to say, am I processing it, not just through my brain, but through my heart, and is what I'm doing glorifying God? Okay? So that's one of my number, they're not in a specific order, I don't rank them, but that's number one on the list. Number 2, Psalm 37:30. The mouth of the righteous utters wisdom, and his tongue speaks justice. All right? So again, following up with that previous point, is what I'm saying valuable to the people I'm putting out there? Or is it just my opinion that I'm trying to push to people? Is it just something that I want them to be on my side? Because that's really where I feel like the struggle is, right? When we interact with other people, especially when it's a topic that is culturally dividing us, right? Whether it's political, whether it's a religious topic, a church topic, Jay had the music sermon, no matter what that is what I'm about to utter, is what I'm about to put out to you all, is it going to provide you a sense of wisdom? Am I doing it because I feel like I'm providing good information, or am I doing it because I just want you to agree with me? And really, unfortunately, in our culture, that's kind of what I feel like the world has become. This big divide has come because it's no longer about what is true or what is false. It's, will you agree with me? Can I argue with you enough, or can I say enough stuff to make you say, okay, you're right? And then I feel better about it. Whether it's true or not, I mean, we just get into this habit of, I just want people to agree with me. And so when we think about what it says, that the mouth of the righteous utters wisdom and the tongue speaks justice, is what I'm saying, am I doing that when I speak or when I type? Because, see, we like to say, well, the Bible says speak here, so if I type it, it don't count. But that's not true, and we know that, right? Whether it's written or spoken, it's still your word. Okay, so number 3, Proverbs 12:25. Anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. Now, we're going to speak pretty good about this because, as you guys know, anxiety, PTSD, that's right in my world. When I first started going to therapy, the first therapist I had, he was a veteran, and the guys at the base in my unit, a lot of them went to him, and we nicknamed him Yoda. Okay, that's the nickname we gave him. Because we're really not sure what he does. We just know it worked. Okay, so we just kept going back. So we started calling him Yoda. So one day I invited my wife, right? After a year of going to therapy, I never invited her, but I really wanted her to be a part of my healing and a part of my therapy. So I said, hey, you should come with me sometime. So I went to therapy. I sat. I talked with the therapist. We talked back and forth. We had our little session, right? And I walked out and I felt better. And my wife goes, is that all you do in there? Like she thought, like every time I come out of therapy, I'm so much happier that she's just like, she thought this guy did some like voodoo stuff in there or something. I don't really know, but she just sat there and listened to us go back and forth. And she was like, that's what you do here? And I'm like, yeah, wasn't it awesome? And she's like, no. So the right words, okay, so that's the key there. It says, anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. You can qualify what are those good words, right? What are the words that I'm putting out to help or encourage my fellow brother or sister in Christ, or my people who are not in Christ? But are the words that coming out of my mouth honoring and glorifying God? And am I doing something? So the contrary here is that there's a man with anxiety, right? Like, so there's an issue. and that this good word makes him glad. So the answer to his anxiety is the good word, okay? So oftentimes, I kind of mentioned this yesterday, oftentimes when we communicate with one another, I want to be the fixer, right? Sometimes people just need to know that it's okay, right? Like it's okay to struggle, and it's okay to hurt. And those words to help them feel better aren't often the medicine. It's not fix this, do that. It's just uttering those words of encouragement. I want to share with you guys, so after class yesterday, Wister and I sat in the back, and we kind of talked through some Bible study stuff together, and it was so encouraging for me that I went home and I thought about it all night. I got up today, I coached softball, I thought about it all day at softball, and the first day I got to church, I told Wister, I said, man, I've been pondering and sitting on this information all day today. It's been awesome. And he's like, cool. So, and we talked about today's lesson. So, I mean, the good word or good words in general to elevate and pick each other up, they really do make a difference. Acknowledging those good words. Okay, so staying with Proverbs here. Proverbs 25:11. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in a setting of silver. Okay, so again, the key there is fitly spoken. Spoken at the right time, right? How many times have you had the right advice given at the wrong time? Has it ever happened to you? Has somebody ever given you the right advice at the wrong time when you just didn't want to hear it or weren't ready to hear it? But so timeliness or how we approach things matter, okay? And what that means is you could have all the right answers, okay? And it doesn't mean that you need to shove all of that on a person right then and there and then not understand why they don't get it, okay? I am not good at fixing appliances, really fixing anything that comes mechanically. I'm terrible at it. But my lawnmower's broken, and it won't start. So I assumed it was a battery issue because it's been sitting, so I have never changed the battery on it. So I decided to figure out how to get the battery off, which I did. And then I decided to put the new battery in, and I needed my wife's help. And this was a conundrum. So I'm asking her to help me do things, and of course I'm getting frustrated because she's trying to tell me, neither one of us know what we're doing, but she's telling me what she thinks I should do, and I'm doing what I think I should do, and neither one of us is helping one another. So the timeliness of when people need to hear, like, hey, it's time to call in the professionals, you know? There's times where you just got to walk away and be like, he needs to work this out. And that's what I told her. She said, when we got back with the battery, she goes, do you want my help? I said, yes, I need somebody to yell at. It ain't going to be my fault when this goes wrong. And she's like, great. So understanding that a timely word, when we tell people information is just as important as what we tell them, right? It's not just about, hey, I have all the right information and here it is. You're ready to hear it right now. Evaluating that and knowing people in that relationship and when I need to say this and how I need to do this. So when I got baptized as a Christian, right? So when I met my wife, she was a very godly woman. When we started dating, the first thing she gave me was a list of attributes that she wanted in a husband. It was in different colored glitter pen, by the way. I'll never forget. Like top 5, prayer warrior, man after God's heart. I was none of those things. But I really liked her, so I said I was. Okay? I lied, straight up. I lied. All right? But she knew and God knew something that was going to happen long before I did. So I became a Christian, got baptized. So now we're married. We've been married like 1 year, not even a year, maybe 6 months. And we're sitting at the house folding laundry, and I'm like, how do I tell my wife that I think she needs to get baptized? And like, how do I do that? I know this woman loves God, and so I got to figure out how to do this because I've only been married 6 months, and I don't want her to leave me right now. So I bring it up in conversation, like, hey, did you know that the Bible says this? And she looked at me, she said, are you saying I'm not saved? And I said, no, ma'am, I'm not saying that. I was just letting you know that there's some information you might want to check out in the Bible. So fast forward a month or two, and I left it alone. I knew better at that point. I prayed hard about how to do this. I left it alone. About a month later, we were folding, it was Saturday morning, we're folding laundry together, and she says, hey, I want to get baptized. And I said, what? Why? She said, because you've changed. And I want whatever's going on in there, so I want to get baptized. And I was like, cool, let's do it. So my wife was actually the first person that I assisted in baptism. But the importance is Did I know the information she needed to hear? Yeah. Did I have to really pay attention to how I presented that? Yes. I really liked my wife, and we were newlyweds. I wasn't about to tell her anything that I thought. I just wanted to tell her what God's word said. And then allowing the timeliness of God to do his job. Because that really, when it comes down to communicating, one of the areas that I feel like Christians fail is we don't often give God enough time to do his job. We try to get in the way of that. So that whole idea of a word fitly spoken, we don't often give God the time to do what we want God to do. Oftentimes we're like, hey, did you know the Bible said this? Why aren't you doing what I just told you to do? That's not really, we get in the way of what God is doing. And sometimes we just need to get out of the way and let God do what he does and let his word speak and not our words. All right. Matthew 12:37. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. This one kind of is a gut punch for me, okay? This one's kind of a gut punch for me. By your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. I struggle a lot because oftentimes, like I said, in the past several months, Jay has given several messages about things like division, unity, peace, those types of things that Jay has talked about. And a lot of it had to do with social media and the internet and things like that. And one of the things that I really struggled with is what I did and how I posted it. Looking back, if you can look back, if you run a social media feed, or if you can go back to conversations you've had where you've hurt people, can you look back at those conversations and say, you know what? I was justified by those words. Or did I really just condemn myself and those other people because I felt like I needed to tell people what to do? And that's often how it is, right? Like, I'll be honest, man. I tried to stay away from most social media nowadays because it irritates me. It gets under my skin and I want to reply. But the things that I start asking myself is this type of communication valid? Is it going to honor God? Is somebody going to read that and be like, you know what? That Tony guy, man, he's a really nice guy and he's obviously living for Jesus. Or are they going to read that and be like, what a not nice guy that is? Look at that guy. He's not cool. Look, he's condemning people. Yes, Jay.
So with this one in Matthew 12, looking at the context.
Go ahead.
And it talks about out of the overflow of the heart.
Yep.
The mouth speaks.
Yep.
So what Jesus seems to be saying is that our words reveal
Who we are.
what lives inside of us.
Yes.
The question is, how do you gauge the merit of this statement? I know I said it, but I didn't really mean it.
Yeah, so I think that goes back to the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart. I really think that that's what goes back to. Unfortunately, this is the reality. So I believe it's in James, right? The tongue is like a rudder that steers a boat, kind of like flaming fire. It talks so bad about the tongue, right? I think one of the reasons that verse exists is because, like, once it's out, it's there. Whoever heard it, whether you meant it or not, the damage is done.
I think my question is it possible to say something without meaning it when we actually say it?
100%. Do I think that, do we communicate at an sometimes ineffectively? In other words, I said A, but what I really meant was B. It just came out as A. Absolutely. But what the reality to me is like, did I process what I was about to say, or did I just in and out it? In other words, I thought it, I spoke it, I didn't really think about did it honor God or Jesus. It just hit my brain and I said it. So, I mean, if we're doing our jobs as Christians, no.
Okay, so like, give a little more like context. If I, to say to Diana, boy, you're really stupid.
Yep.
And then 5 minutes later, I didn't really mean that. I mean, that's what I'm angling at, this excuse that we all use to discount the damage of our words. Like we try to backtrack and say,
Sure.
it came out of my mouth and I said it, but I didn't really mean it.
Yeah, but you did mean it because it had to it's one of those things that it had to hit your brain. In other words, like you had to think it before you said it, right? You had to let it hit your brain at some point. Now, you may not have meditated that on the heart, but at some point in your brain, you thought it before you said it. And chances are it's probably not the first time you thought it. In other words, it just hit that time and you just let it out. So yes, I agree. And what Jesus is saying is that, like, listen, you can tell a whole lot by what people say. Let the words of their mouth justify their actions, right? And then the other part of that is you can also have empty words, right? You can also have those people who talk the talk but don't walk the walk, you know? Like, man, I love Jesus. Oh, that's cool. What church you go to? Oh, I don't need no church. But I love Jesus. Oh, you do? So do you do a Bible study? No, I don't read the Bible. But man, I love Jesus. Well, eventually there has to be some actions to those words. So I think the opposite is also true. You can have empty words.
So I would suggest, like in that case or with others, it may be true that I only meant it for a second.
Yes.
Or a minute for various reasons.
Sure.
But I didn't mean it in terms of the overall context and how I really.
How you, right. Own it. Apologize for it. And move on. But that doesn't mean like, yes, if I'm understanding you correctly, if you call Diana stupid, in other words, you don't wake up in the morning and be like, my wife is the stupidest person on earth, that's who I married, and constantly process that, right? In that moment, you felt and said it. But that doesn't mean that dictates how you feel the rest of the time. Yes, you have to own it, and yes, you have to apologize for it. But I'm going to use what Wister kind of taught me last night. And it really has sunk in with me. When you talk about the fruit of the Spirit, you cannot have one and none of the others. In other words, if you are not patient, in that moment that you're not patient, I guarantee you're not kind, you're not peaceful, you're not kind, or all of the fruit. You're none of them. In that moment, I'm not saying you don't ever have those things, but in that moment. And the opposite is also true. In that moment of kindness, you're also displaying joy, peace. Okay? So when Wister and I talked about that last night, I'm telling you, I've been thinking about this all day. I'm like, it makes perfect sense to me now. He's 100% right in my mind. Like, in those moments that I am not portraying the fruit of the Spirit, I am none of them. But it's a moment. It doesn't mean that I am never going to show any fruit. Okay? It means that in that moment, and then it's sin, right? I mean, that's the part of our lives is where we mess up. In those moments of miscommunication or poor communication, you're right. We have to own it. We have to own it and be like, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. And I'll be honest, as a parent, look, all right, I'm going to look around. Raise your hand if you ever made a mistake as a parent. Okay? I mean, I'll never forget this. So Bree came upstairs one day. She was probably 9. Dee was 7. She ran upstairs and she said, Dad, Dee said the F word. And I was like, oh, no, she didn't. Well, I snatched that little girl up and whooped her butt, right? Whooped her butt, sat her in the chair. She's sitting in timeout. I just can't believe she said that word. I just can't believe it. And then my wife comes in, and she's a little more level-headed. She's like, so, Bree, I'm not going to whoop you for saying this, but what did she actually say? She said it freaking hurt. I was like, oh, all right, well, hey, Dee, come here. So listen, probably shouldn't be saying freaking, but that is not the F word that I thought you said, and I'm sorry. In those moments, where we fail to communicate, which is usually what drives those other emotions like, hey, you're dumb. It usually comes in a moment of, I can't communicate. So I used to have a really, really foul mouth before I became a Christian. And after I became a Christian, it's one of the first things, it took me about a month that I worked really hard on. I'm not going to cuss. Like, this is not how I want to rep Jesus, so I'm not going to do it. And anytime a cuss would come into my head, I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. Not today, Lord. You got me. Thanks. Appreciate you. And I broke that habit. And and one of the reasons that I did it was somebody once told me that breaking or that cussing is the failure to communicate effectively. In other words, I cannot think of an educated word to use to express my emotions, so I use these cuss words. And I was like, well, not only now I feel dumb, so now I'm really not going to cuss because now I just feel dumb that I can't express myself through my emotions without cussing. So I've got to be able to do this. So that was another reason that I drove myself to communicate at a better rate. So anyway, does that, hopefully, I'm glad we discussed that, Jay. That was good. But yes, in that moment.
So, and I'll shut up.
No, you're good.
Because what I've heard, maybe the people use that as an excuse.
Right.
I mean it as, so I'm not really accountable.
No, but that's just it. Whether you might say, most people would be like, hey, you shouldn't call your wife stupid, that's bad. But it doesn't even have to be that bad. It could just be, I spoke to my wife in a disrespectful way in front of somebody else, and that hurt her. Whether that's the case or not, I believe that when somebody identifies that my speak or your speak hurt them, I think there's some accountability that has to take place there. Like whether it was intended or not intended, be like, hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with apologizing. I think that's the other issue that we have. For whatever reason, our culture has taught us that if I apologize, I'm giving in to you. I'm showing weakness. I'm not standing my ground. But the apology isn't about you. It's for that other person. Like, I apologize that what I said hurt you. That was not my intent. Or even if it was my intent, I didn't want to hurt you, okay? I'm sorry, and now I see that I hurt you, and I'm going to apologize for that. My wife and I constantly are communicating about this stuff, and one of the pieces that we work on together is this idea of she is emotional, and I'm not that emotional, and so sometimes she just wants to be heard. And there's a piece to communication that is listening and allowing the person to be heard. And I had to learn that, because the whole time she's talking, what am I doing in my head? Okay, well, you need to do this. All right, well, you need to do this. And I'm not actually listening to her. I'm just figuring out what I need to say to her to make her all better. Because I don't like it when she's upset. So, and really what she says is, I just want you to hear me. And I'm like, well, this is dumb. I don't like this part of communication. But I'm working on it. It's something that I'm working on. All right, so we're going to move on. Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up as it fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear. Okay, so it doesn't just say, let no corrupting talk come out of your mouth. That's not what it says. It's followed up with, but only such as is good for building up. So again, what I have to work on is asking myself, is what I'm about to say to you, or what I'm about to say to anybody, is it going to build them up? Is what I'm speaking helpful? Or am I doing it for my own selfish understanding, reasons, whatever? Okay? And then the last one, my last top 7 for communication. Again, there is more on communication. These are just my top 7. Colossians 3:8. But now you must put them all away: anger, wrath, malice, slander, and obscene talk from your mouth. So I can think to myself that it's usually when I'm angry that the bad talk comes out, right? It's usually when there's malice in my heart or I want to slander somebody. That's usually all the bad talk. So those are things that, as part of communication, that we need to work on as a people, because our world today is divided. And it's divided in a way that I personally have never seen before. Part of it is that I have been sheltered with the military. I joined the military when I was 18 years old. So pretty much my whole adult life has been in the military. And our world in the military is different than the regular, what we call the civilian world, right? In the military, I may not like you all that much, and you may not like me all that much, but you best believe that we got each other's backs. That's what we do. And I don't care what color, religion, race, we don't care about any of that stuff. Okay? All we care about is that we have a mission to complete, and I need all of my people to complete the mission. And I was sheltered with that for 20 years. So this division that took place when I got out of the military and I really got exposed to what was happening in the world, I was a little bit shocked to see that, how divided the world is. how divided it is. And why is it so divided? What I see is everybody just wants self-gratification. I want to push myself. I want to elevate myself. All of these videos are about how many people watched it, how many people hit the like button, how many people did this. That's what everybody's looking for with all of this stuff and all of this divide. And I'm like, oh, part of it is, though, is that we've lost the ability to talk to people. Again, we speak differently through social media than we do face-to-face. And I've seen it, even in young people today, that they struggle to hold a face-to-face conversation because they can't speak the way they speak online. They might get knocked out. But they struggle to hold a face-to-face conversation. This idea of love and respect, I mean, it's just gone. And so for me, like where we put things aside in the military, like I said, there were guys that I worked with that I would never hang out with. But when it came to doing the job, I had respect for them, they had respect for me, and I was their boss. So like we worked, and they did everything I said. Now I know it's crazy because in my mind, as I stated yesterday, I can't imagine, this is why I don't have a job in the civilian world, by the way, I can't imagine somebody telling me no or not doing what I told them to do at work. I know you guys, most people are like, that's crazy. We get told no all the time, or I tell my boss no all the time. Like, I can't even imagine. Like, that's jail-worthy in the military. If I tell somebody to go do something in their job and they don't go do it, I can arrest them. I arrested a guy in Iraq for not showing up to work. Put handcuffs on him, read him his rights. He was 4 hours late. Actually, we had to go wake him up. Because the mission requires X number of people, and he wasn't there, so he put people's lives at risk. So he got arrested. He got busted on a strike. Okay, so I can't imagine somebody telling me no. Like, I would not do good at a regular job. All right, but communication is super, super important to the success of any relationship, especially relationships in the church, in your families. All of those things come down to communication. Jay?
So, you said the reason for division is because we've lost the ability to talk to each other.
Correct.
And by that, I think you are implying that we've lost the ability to listen to each other.
Correct, yes. Understand that there's, yeah, and this is going to flow right into what we're going to, so we're going to take those top 7 communication verses, and we're going to bring it over to this idea of unity and belonging, okay? So there's tons of ways that we group ourselves, right? Whether we're unified with our family, right? Mother, father, son, daughter. Whether we're unified as a church, like we all belong to the Grand Strand Church. Whether we're unified as a military, we all glean to be a part of something, okay? So, there are several things that give people a sense of unity. Genealogy gives people a sense of community, right? So why is family important? Why do you guys believe that family is important? Why does that matter? I don't care what type of family you want to talk about, whether it's your family, church family. Why do you believe that family is valuable to you? Or do you think that family is valuable to you? Maybe some people don't. Anybody? Trust? Can you expand?
Yeah, I mean, like, we recently kind of did a big trip to visit family in Illinois. I hadn't seen them for 5 years. The thing that just struck me was, like, I hadn't seen them for so long, but I felt so comfortable around them all. There was just this deep sense of trust that
Right.
what I say or do.
They're not going to kick you out of the family, right? Yeah. So I want to, just in case you guys didn't hear him, one of the things that he mentioned about why family is so important is the idea of trust. In other words, he hadn't seen his family in a long time, but yet when he went to this family function, he immediately felt at ease. He didn't feel guarded. He didn't feel like, man, if I said the wrong thing, my family's going to kick me out of the family. Okay? Family, it's almost as if family, and we all talk about this, right? Everybody got a crazy uncle or aunt or something like that, right? I always feel like in every family there's an odd duck. And it's almost as if the family just accepts that there is an odd duck in the family. That's Uncle Joe over there, you know. He's a little out there. You know, for me, it's an Uncle John. My Uncle John's a little out there, all right? But he's still part of the family, right? It's almost as if like, man, I may not agree with what Uncle John's doing, but he's part of the family. We can't just kick him out of the family, right? And so we have a level of tolerance, right? So we have this level of tolerance for family in order to keep, because what's the end goal? Why do we keep the weird uncle around? Just because his name is Uncle? Or is it because we want to be like, he carries our name, he's part of our family, he's part of our group, right? He bears that name. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind as we roll through this. All right, so I've got several verses in here that I'm just going to quickly, we don't have a ton of time, but we got a little bit of time, we're good. All right, 2 Chronicles 30, chapter 30, verse 12. It says, also in Judah, the hand of God was on the people to give them unity of mind to carry out what the king and his officials had ordered, following the word of the Lord. Now, they're talking about rebuilding, right? They're talking about building the temple. And so this idea that we can do more as a group than we can do as individuals, right? I'll never forget Jay, I really do listen to your sermons. I want you to get them. That's what I'm trying to express to you when I'm up here this week. Okay, I want you to know that I actually listen. So in one of Jay's sermons a few weeks ago, he mentioned how his neighbor always wanted to help do the mulch, and he at first was like, no, I got this. And then at one point was like, why am I doing this myself when I can get help doing this? There is so much more that we can do as a unit. And look at VBS. I just want you to look at this situation right here, right now. How many people are running around in these volunteer shirts? What happens if you took them all away and just left Gina? VBS might still happen, but poor Gina. She'd be in the grave, okay? But look at all that we can accomplish by working together, right? By setting our minds and hearts on Jesus. Man, think about what we can accomplish. So I've never been a huge, like, if you notice, I'm with the adults, right? I actually don't like little kids. They get on my nerves, okay? I try real hard, but I'm just not a little kid fan. I don't have the patience. But it's something that, again, that I'm working on. So I work with the adults. I like them better. But there's 3 little boys here at VBS this week from my neighborhood, from our little cul-de-sac, that hang out and play with my daughter. One of them has never been to church. He's been here. And the other 2 boys, I baptized them with their family a little while ago. But they're both here. And they came, I picked them up yesterday, and the next door neighbor little boy who's never been to church, he goes, well, I think I'm just going to come. He's only like 8 or 9. I think I'm going to come just one day. And then that's it. And I was like, okay, that's cool. You know, whatever you want to do, man. So when we got done VBS and we were going home, they were like, this was awesome. And I was like, wow. They were like, this little boy was seriously affected by VBS last night. And I was thinking, you know, like, well, he probably just played some games and just had fun playing dodgeball or something. I was like, well, so I picked him up today. All 3 of them came back today. And I picked him up. I said, Dennis, I thought you weren't coming back. You were just coming one day. He's like, what? It was so fun. I've never been to church before. I didn't know it could be fun. And I was like, well, what was your favorite part? He's like, singing the songs. And I was like, not dodgeball? He's like, that's fun too. But we got to learn about Jesus. And I was like, okay, I have now changed my mind about VBS because the impact on this little 9-year-old is amazing. And what did he do? He went home and he talked to his mom and dad all day. When I picked him up today, his parents were like, thank God you're coming to get him, dude, because we're about tired of hearing about VBS. Like, this dude has been amped up all day about VBS. They gave him a little penny necklace last night. He still got it on. He wouldn't take it off. His mom tried to get him to take it off when he got a shower. He said, no, they gave this to me. This is mine. Think about what we can accomplish if we work together. So not just the opposite, right? Don't just think about what division does to us, because there are several ways that we approach things. We either approach them in a positive or with a negative connotation, right? So we either say things like, division is bad. That's a negative connotation to division. The positive, or the flip side of that, is think about what we could do if we were together. So now it has a positive spin, right? I'm still talking badly or negatively about division, but I'm spinning it in a positive way. Instead of focusing on how bad the division is, like this verse here that talks about, it doesn't talk about how badly they did things. It talks about, look at all they could do when they were unified to serve God. And then I was like, man, that's really good, you know? It's really good to think about, man, we could do a lot of good, and I'm watching these people and these young people do a lot of good right now serving God, and it's amazing. Like I said, I sat in the back and I watched them sing their songs today, and how amped up those boys were to come here today. I'm sold, man. Made a big difference in those kids' lives. All right. So, the only other point I want to make on that, sorry, it's in my notes, is the common good is bigger than any one person. And I want to use, so, no secret, I coach travel softball, I coach high school softball. My biggest success stories in coaching are when I can convince the girls on my team to play for each other. Okay? To not think about how well they're doing in a game or focusing on their individual stats, but to think about what the team is doing. Now, I always say to people, I don't coach to win ball games. Like, that's not why I coach. I coach to make kids better and to help them improve, like, in their skills. Like, I'm there to make an impact in their life. That's what I want out of coaching. And people make fun of me, and they're like, yeah, right, Tony. How many tournaments have you won? I'm like, well, we've won 2 of the last 4. And they're like, that's pretty good. And I'm like, yeah. But wins come because I have convinced those girls to play for each other. In other words, as one unit. Because together as a group, we're putting the group's needs, or God's needs in this case, above my needs, right? It isn't about the fact that maybe Tony doesn't like little kids or singing silly songs, but I'm going to do it because of the impact that it's making on these kids. Like, that's why I'm going to do it. The greater good, or the common good, is bigger than my personal needs. And so that's the other point I wanted to make with that. Okay, so this is a pretty short verse, but Psalm 133:1, a song of accents of David. How good and pleasant is it when God's people live together in unity? Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to need to expand any further on that. But John 17:23 says, I and them and you and me, so that they may be brought to complete unity. Then the world will know that you sent me and have loved them even as you have loved me. This is Jesus talking about God's plan for his people to be unified, right? So if Jesus is the center, if that's our focus, right, it's really easy to get along with one another. It really is. It's not hard. Again, it's not going to come down to, well, I don't like how this person raises their kids or lives their life or does this or does that. I'm here because I want to be here, I want to serve my God, and I want to be around other people who want to serve God with me. And that's what's going to make us unified. I would love to see, so Wister and I talked about this last night too. It really hurts me a little bit because I would love to see this church on a Wednesday night look like it does on a Sunday. Like, why wouldn't we want to be where people are when the church is gathering? Like, that's where I want to be. When people are coming together, and it doesn't necessarily have to be at this building, right? But if people from the church are coming together, why don't I want to be there? Someone once asked me, well, if you don't like people in church, you're going to be really mad in heaven having to be around all those church people that are in church with you. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we should want to be with other Christians. That is how we grow. Iron sharpens iron, that whole thing. Like, I love to study the Bible, and I love to talk about God in the Bible, and what better way to do that than with other people that want to do it, right? We talk about going out and evangelizing and making other people Christian or helping convert other people to Christianity. But I feel like we get them in the church, and it's almost like, it's what I call the new car smell, right? It's the new car smell. When people come to church and they're new, everybody's like, hey, new guy, welcome. We love you. We just want to let you know we love you, and we miss you. Second Sunday comes, you're like, hey, new guy, good to see you back again. Third Sunday comes, they're like, how you doing? Fourth Sunday comes, they're like, hey, in the back there. Okay, kind of like the new car smell wears off. Like, we wanted to know that we loved him, but then we're just kind of expecting him to fall into the fold. One of the greatest things that I love about church, and especially like this church and the church I came from, is, like, you guys will find out real quick, I'm a hugger, man. I'm a hugger. I love to hug people. I love to get hugs. It makes me feel good inside. And so I run around and I hug as many people as I can. I love it. And one of the things about this church is it's like the new car smell. I've been here almost a year, and I feel like I still got the new car smell. People still hug me. People still treat me like I'm the new guy. You know, like, hey, Tony. I'm like, hey, what's up? I don't remember your name, but hey, what's up? Because I'm still learning everybody's name, okay? But I feel like I still have that new car smell. And that's really one of the things that helps us to be unified in God and live together in God is when we recognize that, hey, guess what? Being loved is one of the greatest, easiest ways that we can be unified, right? Because I don't know a single person that does not like to be loved. I just don't. Everybody likes to be loved or feel love in their way, but everybody wants to be loved. And think about it. So if all we're doing, if you did nothing else, but if you approached your journey into God or into this church as, you know what, man? I'm just going to go love on people, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show people love the way I show love, whether it's a hug, whether it's a ask how you're doing, whether it's cooking a meal. I'm just going to go out, man, and I'm just straight up going to love people. I promise you, you will find some serious joy, and you will grow very fast in Christ because you will understand what receiving and getting that love is, right? Like, it's one of the best things in the world for me is that feeling of being loved. I told you guys yesterday I have a food allergy, that whole celiac thing. When my wife cooks me food that I can eat, that is one of the biggest ways that she shows me love. She loves me because she don't eat any of the stuff she cooks for me. Now, some of you might think, well, hey, she's poisoning you. But she's not. She just doesn't like gluten-free food. And I understand. If I didn't have to eat gluten-free food, I wouldn't eat it either. But she constantly makes my meals for me. And I feel so loved when I go home and sit down and realize, like, hey, Tony can eat today. I feel so loved. So if all you did at this church was go around and show people love in the way that you know how, I promise you, you will find some joy and peace, and the fruit of the Spirit will just explode on you. Because it'll happen. All right, Colossians, just got a couple more to go through and we'll wrap it up. Colossians 3:14, and over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all in perfect unity. Love is needed to unify. Okay, you cannot unify anything, any relationship without love. You got to have it. Ephesians 4. This is a little long. This is like verses 1 through 6. It says, as a prisoner for the Lord, this is Paul writing to the church in Ephesus, as a prisoner for the Lord, then, I urge you, to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to one hope when you were called. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. Now, how can you read that and not think to yourself like, yeah, I'm going to do this? Like, when I read that passage, I want to do that. Not going to say I'm successful at it all the time, but when I read that passage, I am motivated to do that. I want to be humble. I want to be patient. I want to be able to bear everyone, even little kids, in this idea that I can love them and help them to grow in Christ and be all that God wants me to be. In order to be that kind of success, to have that kind of success in Jesus, I have to love. And I have to do all of those things that it says in that passage. So I would encourage all of you guys to really kind of go back and read that for yourself and be like, man, how can I be more like this? How can I do what Paul says here in bearing one another? Because really, if you look at our world today and our culture today, I listen to it, even amongst Christians, amongst non-Christians, I hear it all the time is this whole idea of all of this worldly stuff is where they're putting their stock, right? Like, I can't hang out with you if you're not believing this way or that way, politically. How can somebody do that? I'm guilty of that, by the way. How can you do this and be a Christian? How can you do that? But man, if I'm not patient and listening to other people and willing to listen, guys, I got to tell you right now, okay? The guy I baptized from Morocco, he was Arabic. He spoke Arabic. Najib is his actual real name. Ben, we call him. But I never thought in my life that I would be a part of somebody converting from Islam. I fought in the Iraq War. I struggled a lot interacting, even after the war, with people who spoke Arabic. I had issues. I have issues. But when I sat down and Ben and I started talking, and we started talking about God, and this dude was really seeking the Lord, I didn't see that dude as anything other than somebody who wanted Jesus, and I wanted to be a part of it. Yeah, that's all I wanted to be. And great family, like I said, great family, loved them to death. But never in my life did I think that I would have the courage or the guts to handle something like that. And thank God, that's who I thank for it, thank God for giving me that courage and strength to do that. So I want to be able to be more like Jesus and bear all things and do all things. And if you guys have been watching The Chosen, if you guys have been a part of that, or you've been watching it, or you watched it on your own, the episode we just watched, Jesus interacted with Peter on the boat. And Peter at this time is really struggling with, having to pay bills and the tax. And so his focus, even though his brother kind of said, hey, this is Jesus, he wasn't ready to hear that or ready to do all that. And then Jesus comes on his boat, and he's like, fine, come on the boat, hurry up. I got places to go. And then Jesus says, hey, will you do me a favor and throw your net in? And this is a guy who's a fisherman, right? Like, this is his job. He's probably pretty good at it because it's his profession. All right? It's not like when I go fishing and just throw bobbers out there and feed the fish. This guy, knows how to catch fish. So he's looking at Jesus like, I've been doing this all night, bro. Not catching anything. He's like, will you just do it for me and just throw it over? And finally, he's like, whatever, just throw the net over. He pulls all these fish in. But my favorite part in the show, and I'm not saying that this, it shows this emotion in the Bible, but in the show, he throws the net over and he kind of looks at Jesus and be like, see? And Jesus kind of looks at him and says, see? And then all of a sudden these fish come in, and Jesus kind of smiles at Peter like, hey, listen, man, if you're ready to bear what it is that you disagree with in order to further God's kingdom, what you will see is a huge result in how people respond to God. If I really say that I love people, if I really say that, if I believe that, if I say to someone, you know what, God, I'm here for you, and I love people because that's what you commanded me to do. You commanded me to love, so I'm going to love people. If I really deep down believe that, then why wouldn't I listen to someone of a different opinion? Why wouldn't I hear them out? I'm not saying they're going to change my mind or I'm going to change theirs, but why wouldn't I give them that respect and courtesy to hear them out? If nothing else, to show them that I care about them. To show them that, you know what? This really ain't my thing, bud. Not my thing. Politics ain't my thing, or whatever ain't my thing. But you know what, man? Fixing cars ain't my thing. But I really do care about you, so I'll stand out here and pass you tools if you want. I don't know what I'm doing. And you can talk car to me all you want, but I don't know what I'm doing. A buddy of mine offered to fix my lawnmower, and we were talking about what's wrong with it. I said, it won't start. Pretty mechanically, right? It won't start. It really helps get to the heart of the issue. He said, what's it do when you turn the key? I said, nothing. And he said, all right. So he came over, looked at it, and he goes, man, I think it's your solenoid. I said, I don't know what that is. Okay? You can say all the car terms you want or engine terms you want to me, and I'm not going to know what you're talking about. But hey, you know what? Yeah, solenoid sounds good. What do you need? Crescent wrench. Yep, got one of those. What else you need? Screwdriver. Here, you got one of those too. Okay, you need to order this part. Write it down, bro, because I don't know what I'm doing. I can listen to somebody who wants to talk about something that maybe I don't know or care to know about, or I'm never going to know about, but I can still show the courtesy and love to listen. I can do those things because we can be unified in the love that God has for all of us, right? We don't have to be unified in what's our favorite football team or who do we like in politics, but we can be unified in the love. We can agree that God loves everybody, right? We can start there. God loves everyone. Yes.
Is it wrong for me to have a family member that I can only take in small doses
No.
in order to stay unified?
No, No, and I think to me, what's important is that you are willing, number one, to recognize that I can only handle this in small doses. But in those small doses, are you caring and loving? Are you doing all the things that God wants us to do?
And I'm just thinking about, your
Yeah.
scripture here, bearing with one another in love.
Yeah. Sometimes it is a bear.
I guess Jesus, I guess he can take all of us in large doses.
He has to be able to.
Himself, right? But there's this, like, this family member, if I'm like more than 3-4 hours, I usually get dine and liz out in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then I stick it out for a couple more.
Sure.
So you're saying I don't have to feel guilty about that?
I personally, I don't think so. So I honestly think so. I'll be honest with you. I have a family member. I'm just going to say family member who absolutely drives me bananas. Okay, this family member was here for my daughter's graduation this year, and this person is so like on a schedule and neurotic, and just panics about everything. She asked me if she could bring her toothbrush on the plane, and I was like, well, yeah. And then she proceeded to look it up anyway. And then she asked me if she could bring her brush on the plane. And then she proceeded to look it up anyway. It didn't matter what I answered. But I can only handle this person in very small doses. But I keep telling myself that as long as when I'm with them, as long as during my interaction, I do the best I can to show God's love to that person.
Maybe I'm actually bearing with that person.
I mean, think about it this way. I would say that I think it's unrealistic. God created us in his image, but he also created us to be individuals. Like, we are all different people. And it's natural, right, that you're going to run across somebody and immediately have that connection with, dude, I can hang out with this guy all day. Like, this is my guy. And then you're going to run across some other people and you're like, you know what? The things they do or the way they live their life, I'm not saying that it's necessarily wrong. It's just that I can't jive with that all day, man. I can handle it a little bit. But I really believe that as long as in that time, like back to that moment, right, of impatience, back in that time, in those 2 hours, did I represent Christ? Did I show myself as a Christian? I always figure, when we put on our favorite sports shirt, right? When you put on your favorite jersey of your favorite sports team, you're essentially repping that team, right? You're like, this is my team. This is who I'm for, okay? Ultimately, what shirt should we be wearing is the one that says, I'm for Team Jesus. Like, that's the team I'm on. That's the rep I'm going to take with me. So when I go places, that's what I want people to know about me. If they know nothing else, I want them to know that I love God and love Jesus. And if I can do those things, then even if I walk away saying, all right, I got through it, but I couldn't take another minute in that room. Okay, I couldn't handle one more minute. I still think you are bearing it, right? Refusing to bear it or saying no all the time, I think that's where you run into the issue where I think I need to check myself. Effort. Yeah.
Just the fact that you're even able to
Bear it.
bear it and be with that person, I feel like
So this is the best advice that I would give anybody in any situation, okay? And I do it with my athletes all the time. There are a lot of external things you cannot control, right? In any situation, whether it be, I don't care, in any relationship or any situation, there are external factors that you can't control. You can't control how someone else reacts, right? You can't control what someone else does. But there are two things that you can control, that you have full control over, and that you can do in such a way to honor God every single time. Effort and attitude. Effort and attitude. They're 100% free. You have full control over them. And by applying the proper effort and the right attitude, you can make a difference. You can make a difference on your sports team. You can make a difference in a relationship. You can make a difference in any situation that you go into. by checking the effort and attitude that you put in. So those are my key 2 words that I use when I coach, okay? I use it all the time. Effort and attitude are free. What are you doing with them? They don't cost you anything. What are you doing with them? What's your attitude? What's your effort? If I put no effort into a relationship, how can I expect it to yield good results, right? If I have a bad attitude when I'm acting out or doing stuff in any kind of relationship, how can I expect good results? And while I can't control what people are doing around me, I can control my attitude and how much effort I put in. Those are 2 things that I always have control of. So take that for what it is. I didn't finish every verse, but we're all done for today. There are snacks in the back for you guys to enjoy. Thank you guys so much for coming. We're going to have a prayer. Wister, will you lead us in a prayer before we go have snacks? Thank you, sir. Let's pray.
Okay, testing, 1, 2, testing. I think we're good. Not yet. Okay, now you're green. Testing, 1, 2, testing, testing. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna turn this one off. Okay, my mic is on. This mic should be on. Okay, I'm good. Perfect. Because we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 minutes. And this mic is on. Perfect. Woo. Okay, cool. We're already. Becca should be leading the song. That's fine. No, they've all got 2 minutes. So. Yes, I am on. I'm on. My God. I am on. Hi to Facebook Live. I'm pretty sure we're still streaming, so. Are we still streaming to Facebook Live? Hi, Facebook Live. Wow. Say hi to y'all before these kids get in here. Got 1 minute. Oh, and here comes Esmeralda. I don't think can they see y'all? I don't know. Probably can. Okay, perfect. Wow. I'm going to look at myself on Facebook Live for a second. What are we doing today, Esmeralda? We're going to sing some more songs. Come here, Es. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll look at myself on Facebook Live quickly. No, stay open for a minute. Aha. Wow, I can actually see myself. This is so cool. Come here. A little behind. It zoomed in on me. This is so cute. Okay, here come our kiddos. And our blue group is back. Hi, blue group. Come sit in your blue row. Hey, Becca, come here. I have a question for you. Becca. It says you're supposed to lead Chicky Chicky Beat, but I've got the mic, so do you want me to lead it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Is this all blue group?
No, I think we're...
Oh no, this looks like a pretty small... It looks like a pretty small blue group. There should be more of you. Okay, that's what I thought. There are a few of y'all I'm missing. You are the only blue group. And here come our older kids. Hi, orange group. Come sit by your orange balloons. Hello. Orange has gloves, it seems like. Oh, smart, smart. No germs. No germs. Well, my hands are pink, so I already feel. Okay. I have no clue who you are. It's a random kid. We are waiting for yellow and red. And the rest of song team. Oh, y'all get missing. Here come our little red group. Hi, red group. Oh my gosh, y'all are so cute. Red group. all of our stuff's already up, so we're good. And here's our yellow group. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Hi, yellow group. Hi, Pearson. They could probably hear you. I've already said hi to Facebook Live, so
I'm Pearson. I'm leading the 2 deals.
Okay. All my kiddos are coming in. More little kids. Whose shoes does he have? Okay. Okay. We're counting off now, so I kind of wait here. Okay, kiddos. Kiddos, can I get your attention? Kiddos. Kiddos, be quiet.
You can hear my voice, clap 3 times. You can hear my voice, clap 4 times. Go, Miss Kayla.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to ask my song team to get up stage because they're standing off to the side. Okay, so first question. How was class? That was a really sad good. I need to hear some more enthusiasm. How was class? Much better. Okay, so we're gonna do a few more silly songs before y'all head off home. I know this is the best part, y'all. So I need y'all to stand right up on 2 feet. Everyone up. Is everyone standing? Stand up. Come on, yellow group. Come on, my red group. Stand up. Okay, are we ready?
It just gets the process done faster.
Yeah, I'm gonna do by groups. Okay. We're gonna do a song called Chicky Chicky Beat. I don't know if all of y'all know this one, but this one's fun. Are you ready? Ready? Way up, chicky, 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 and down, chicky, 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 to the left, chicky, 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 to the right, chicky, 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 all around, chicky, 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 get down, chicky, 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 and that's how you do the chicky, chicky beat. Hey, red group, you're a real cool cat. You got a lot of this and a lot of that. We all think that you're real neat, so come on down and do the chicky chicky beat. Waiting for some red group. Are we ready? Are we ready? Way up, chicky 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 chicky, and down, chicky 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 chicky, to the left, chicky 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 chicky, to the right, chicky 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 chicky, all around, chicky 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 chicky, get down, chicky 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 chicky, and that's how you do the chicky chicky beat. Hey, orange group, you're a real cool cat. You got a lot of this and a lot of that. We all think that you're real neat, so come on down and do the chicky chicky beat. Orange group, y'all are big. Come on, orange group, ready? Okay, ready? Ready? Way up, chicky 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 chicky, and down, chicky 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 chicky, to the left, chicky 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 chicky, to the right, chicky 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 chicky, get down, oh chicky 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 chicky, get down, chicky 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 chicky, and that's how you do the chicky chicky beat. Hey, yellow group, you're a real cool cat. You got a lot of this and a lot of that. We all think that you're real neat, so come on down and do the chicky chicky chicky, 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 and down, chicky, 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 to the left, chicky, 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 to the right, chicky, 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 all around, chicky, 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 get down, chicky, 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 and that's how you do the chicky, chicky beat. Hey, Blue Group, you're a real cool cat. You got a lot of this and a lot of that. We all think that you're real neat, so come on down and do the chicky, chicky beat. Way up, chicky, 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 and down, chicky, 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 to the left, chicky, 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 to the right, chicky, 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 all around, chicky, 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 get down, chicky, 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 and that's how you do the chicky, chicky beat. Hey, volunteers, you're a real cool cat. You got a lot of this and a lot of that. We all think that you're real neat, so come on down and do the chicky, chicky beat. That means all of my volunteers sew my Joy Story people shirts. Caleb, that means you in the back. Esmeralda. Or you can be born. We ready? Come on. Come on, Caleb. Come on, Esmeralda. Come on, volunteers. Here they come. Are we ready? Everyone ready? Way up, chicky, 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 and down, chicky, 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 to the left, chicky, 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 all around, chicky, right, chicky, 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 all around, chicky, 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 get down, chicky, 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 and that's how you do the chicky, chicky beat, and go sit down. Okay. This is chaos. Excuse me for my mess up of lyrics. It has been a long day. Okay, Riley, it's your turn. If you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. If you can hear my voice, clap 3 times. If you can hear my voice, clap 4 times. Okay, I need all of y'all to close your mouths and open your ears, please. Go on, Ryan.
So today we learned about joy and belonging. Belonging doesn't always mean fitting in. It's about finding where you feel the most.
Did y'all get that? Did y'all all hear her? Yeah? Okay, we're gonna sing a few joy songs before we leave, right? Do we still want to see who's the loudest? I'm hearing more yays than nays, okay? So, if we're gonna sing some more songs, I need y'all to be quiet. And y'all gotta stand back up. Why are y'all sitting down? Okay, this side, y'all are gonna start with our joy. So joy, 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 joy. Okay, and this side, y'all are going to be this side. This side is going to be J is for Jesus, O is for others, and Y is for you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Okay, everyone got that? Yeah. We're all going to start with singing joy, and they'll tell this side when to break off. Are we ready? Joy, 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 joy. J is for Jesus. O is for other. Joy, 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 joy. J is for Jesus. Oh, joy, 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 joy. Wow, y'all gonna look at me towards the end. We do it twice, and y'all gonna look at me to stop. If you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. Is everyone quiet now? Okay, this side. Now y'all are going to be J is for Jesus, O is for others, and Y is for you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. And this side, y'all are going to be our joy, 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 joy. Okay, y'all get it. Okay, are we ready? Y'all know how to do this? Ready? Joy, 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 J, joy, 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 joy. J is for Jesus. Joy. Okay, I think today we have a clear winner that this side won. I could not even hear myself singing joy over here, so good job to you. Good job to this side too. Y'all were holding it as hard as you could. Okay. What time do we get out of here? 8:15? So I was requested and remembered about a song called I Got That Joy, 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 Joy Down in My Heart. Do y'all know that one? I kind of forgot about it. Are there two verses to that one? Because I don't know the second verse. We'll wing it. Okay. Are we ready? Ready? Shh. If you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. If you can hear my voice, clap 3 times. Shh. Okay, are we more settled and quiet now? I know it has been a fun and exciting day and you want to talk with your friends, but right now you'll need to look at me and you can talk with your friends a bit later before you leave. Are we ready? Is my mic still on? Okay. I'm gonna invite the person who told me about this song. Is Tony Ayers still here? Where's he at? He's outside? Oh, he wanted to do this song so bad. He wanted to be here for this. So before we do this song, let's do Peace Like a River while we're getting Tony in here. Are we ready? I've got that peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like the ocean, I've got love like the ocean, I've got love like the ocean in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got love like the ocean in my soul. Okay, he's not here yet. Let's do it again. Ready? I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like the ocean, I've got love like the ocean, I've got love like the ocean in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got love like the ocean in my soul. Okay, I can't find him, I'm not going to make y'all sing that song again, so. You want to do? Ella, come on, since we can't find him, Ella's going to come up here and do that, so give Ella a round of applause. If y'all don't know, Ella is my big sister. Okay, ready? Okay, ready?
Okay, yeah.
You're leading it, go.
No.
Okay, I've got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my Where down in my heart to stay. So it's like a verse. Happy, so very happy. I am so with the sentience heart that's in my heart. And so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. Yeah, it's been so long. So before we leave, where's Ian at? Ian, come say a prayer before we leave. Okay, y'all. Please bow your heads while Ian prays. Amen. Okay, go find your parents and have a good night. Staff, volunteers, we're staying for a meeting, right? Okay, yeah, staff, we have a meeting.
Brother, they're throwing straight arms at people.